Events. 9, 12 o'clock Central.
Outstanding, outstanding, outstanding. All right. So this gives us good context. Hector, I feel like we lost the first question. Are you doing it solo? This, all I'm saying is with a team and with a brokerage, in case you guys are wondering, this is a live show. Okay. So, all right. So it looks like, Jimmy, I'm seeing about, call it sub 1,200 people doing it solo. Congratulations. I got some insight for you. Looks like about 150 sub 650. You're doing it, you and your team together. I love it. About 500, almost 600 people now doing it with their entire brokerage. We've got a little over 2,000 people already watching live. That's outstanding. So let's jump in. I hope you're in a place where you can take some notes. Again, I'm going to talk for a couple minutes. I want to set the tone. And then I've asked Jimmy to talk high-level strategy and then the tactics of what we want to do collectively together over the next 33 days. But first, let me just start by saying to all of you, congratulations. Congratulations for being the kind of person, and Jimmy just said it, who's going to go on offense between now and the end of the year when the vast majority of people stop working. The vast majority of people have already given up. When you look at the stats across the US, and I see a little bit in Canada, and for my friends around the world, Australia, New Zealand, wherever you're checking in from, it's a little hard to get the data. But what we know right now is half the agents in the country haven't even closed a transaction. right? We know that you are out working hard. You want to finish the year strong. You want to start 2024 with a big pipeline of opportunity. And that's what this program is all about. So as we jump in, let's do a second poll. Give me the second one, if you would, please. I think it was number 3. I want to know approximately, how many listings have you taken in the last 100 days? Approximately how many listings have you taken in the last 100 days? I know some of you are going to go right to your numbers. You're going to pull it up. You're going to have it instantaneously. But just give us context, because obviously we want to blow out the last 100 days. So I'm seeing, okay, there's a lot of people responding. So we're going to just give it just a second here. I love it. Jimmy, you know it's inspiring. I'm seeing seven people between 41 and 50 listings in the last, call it 100 days. We've got about 17 that listed 31 to 40, which, by the way, these are astronomical numbers. But be really clear, my friends. When I see people taking, 10 listings in the last 100 days, that is exceptional in what's happening right now around the world on the listing side of the business. But it looks like the vast majority, are right at that like under 10 mark. We got 11 to 20, looks like 240 plus and climbing. 62 people have listed between 21 and 30. Again, outstanding. Just gives us context, right? Gives us context. We got a few more people, so I'm going to wait while they're doing that. So before I do the next poll, I want to give you guys backstory on why we're doing this. So we'll do this quickly, and we're going to get right into the meat of it. Then we'll get everybody out of here and get everybody to work. So when myself and Mary Jet and a bunch of the coaches, Sally on our content curriculum team, we wrestled Jimmy into this. We asked ourselves, what could we do to ensure that you have the guardrail and the structure you need to not only finish the year strong, but make sure that we start 2024, as I mentioned, with a robust pipeline of a lot of opportunity. We asked ourselves, what could we do? And that was really the origin story behind this 100K in 100 days program. Could we simplify the work that we have to do on a daily and weekly basis, the plays that we know absolutely work, so all of us collectively together could be, rowing in the same direction, doing the same activities, learning from each other, supporting one another to ensure we have unbelievable success over the next 100 days. That was obvious. But the big thing I wrote down is, if you're paying attention to my content over the last couple of years, this in the US, this whole conversation around, what's going to happen with buyer agency. My aim and my sort of major focus here is, no matter what happens in October, I want you to be ahead of the curve. I want you to be on offense. I want you to go out and be the best listing agent you can be. Now, I'm not saying we're not going to work buyers. We're all going to work buyers. But we understand if there's going to be some fundamental changes, I want you to be in the driver's seat so you can make the kind of money you deserve. No one knows what's going to happen. It'll be announced sometime in October. But I knew if we did this between now and the end of the year, and we got everybody focused on listing attraction, every single one of us, you are going to be in a much better position, period, end of story. So let's take a look at the numbers really fast here. I got a good sense of the poll, right? So excellent numbers. All right, so now let's do the last one. The last one, what I want to know from everybody is, what are your goals for the next 100 days? So you just told us approximately what you did in the last 100 days. I want to know, what are you committed to? Now, before you give me a number, and I see you're already racing into it, committed is, I'm going to do whatever it takes. If I say I'm going to get 20 listings in the next 100 days, if it's December 30th and I got 19, I'm listing my house for sale. Like, that's commitment. Like, whatever it takes. So let's look at the numbers. And whatever your number is your number. I, as the head coach, just want you to feel great about your business, earn the money that you deserve, be the best you can be. So I don't care. I'm not attached to the number. I just want you to win. So let's take a look at the numbers. We got 36 people that are going for 50 or more listings. I was chatting with a mutual friend of ours, Tom Toole, who is, I think they listed 27 houses last month. I talked to Doug Edrington down in Chattanooga today. He and his team are planning to list 30 houses a month, October, November, December. And he said, this is the time when everybody stops working. There's less competition. There's more opportunity. More and more people want to put their home on the market, get it done early. We're going to be the ones that are making the calls. So these are great numbers. Okay, I'm still waiting on a few more people to answer the question, but Hector, that's awesome. So again, backstory, why are we doing this? Get you ahead of the curve and get all of us, if you will, rowing in the same direction so we can support one another, you and your coach, you and all of your buddies inside the ecosystem, that everybody's on the same page. Everybody's going to go out and support, which is my third initiative, support communication with your past clients and your centers of influence. Because right now, we know there's a lot of confusion in the market. I don't care what country, what state, what province you're in. There is a lot of confusion around what's going to happen with home prices. Is my home price going up? Is it going down? Is the world about to fall apart? Why are rates so high? There is so much confusion. And when you pay attention, and I know you've all downloaded the workbook, when you look at what we're asking you to do, we're asking you to be the knowledge broker, to get in communication with every single person in your database, to remove the uncertainty, to remove the fear. And of course, we know in the middle of it, you're going to find a tremendous amount of opportunity. Now, with all that said, a couple quick thank yous. Got to give a huge shout out to Jimmy, to the coaches, to Mary Jett, to Sally and her team for putting together all this content. I'm going to assume everybody, you can kill the poll, Hector. We got it. You've already downloaded this. You've already downloaded the trackers. I'm seeing it all over social, which is outstanding. So I wrote down for you 5 pieces of advice. Having been a coach now for going on nearly 30 years, I can tell you that when you do 3 of these 5, just do 3 of these 5, you will get more results from the next 100 days than you would if you only did 1 or 2. So I want you to listen to all 5 and I want you to decide, and then we're going to talk about the next 33 days, and then we're going to get out of here and get everybody back to work. So if I was working with you one-on-one, I would tell you there's 5 things you got to do. So I'm seeing a note here from my team that's out there watching that someone says, where's the tracker? It's all inside of Loom. Go to the search bar, type in 100K, 100 days. You're going to go down to the bottom and it's all right there. So you got to just print all that stuff out. You'll be taken care of. But it's inside of a Loom. Hit the search bar, type in 100K. It's all right there. So here's the 5 recommendations. Here's the 5 pieces of advice from the head coach. Number 1 thing that I want you to do, stop typing, listen up. I want you to get clear on the end result. What is the target? Let's play a game. It's December 31st. What does your business look like? It's December 31st. What does your business look like? And I'm going to want to know, where did you finish closed and pending? Volume, transactions, GCI, right? Where did you finish? Because the next 100 days, you're going to do a lot of business. Then I want to know, number 2, how many active listings do you want to have going into the new year? How many active listings? And I'm going to challenge every one of you to think, maybe, just maybe, this is the year that I have the most active listings I've ever had starting the new year. But I'm not done. I have a third goal that I want you to set. The third goal I want you to set is, how many listing leads do you want to have on December 31st to people that said, Jimmy, I love everything you're saying, but we don't want to put our home on the market until February. We don't want to put our home on the market until March. I want you to be crystal clear that you're going to start the year. Is it 8 listing leads? Is it 15 listing leads? Is it 22 listing leads? It's your business. It's your number. But I want all of us to start with a clear end result in mind. That's number 1. Number 2, write this down. You have to adjust your schedule to be successful in this program. You have to adjust your schedule. Mm-hmm. We're asking you to commit a couple hours every day to be on the phone, to be sending text messages. You got to put in your calendar, hey, Sundays between 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock, I'm sending out this email this week, every single week for the 4 weeks. If it's not in your calendar, it doesn't get done. You know it and I know it. So please adjust your calendar accordingly. Number 3, write this down. Plan for resistance. I want you to plan on it. I tell people all the time, if Jimmy said to me, hey, I want to run a marathon, or hey, I want to lose 15 pounds, or any initiative, any change that we want to create in our life, you have to accept the fact there's going to be resistance. Someone's going to say to you, why are you working so hard? Right? Maybe a spouse is going to say, boy, you're really putting in the extra hours and I miss you and I want you home. And I'm a happily married guy. So is Jimmy. Like, we understand that's important, which is why when I do initiatives like this, I tell my spouse what I'm committed to. I tell my kids what I'm committed to. I tell my office mates what I'm committed to. But the resistance that most of you will face, it's going to be the resistance in your head. You're going to be like, oh my goodness, I've done so much. I've got so much opportunity. I built up so many leads. I'm getting overwhelmed, coach. I can't handle it all. That's the resistance I need you to work through. That's the threshold I need you to work through. You and I together over the next 100 days, myself, Jimmy, you and your coach, we're going to get you through the sort of results you're typically producing. Oh my goodness, I've never had more than X. I want you to break through that. So you got to expect the resistance because it's going to happen. It's going to happen in your head. It's going to happen around you. So number one is be really clear on what your business is going to look like on December 31st. Number two, you must put in the time in your calendar. If you don't, you're going to struggle. You should not wake up one day between now and the end of the year wondering, what am I supposed to do today? The third thing is expect the resistance. So when it shows up, just say, there's the resistance. There it is. I knew it was coming. Tom called it. Number four, you ready? You got to track and measure everything. Your coach is going to send you a spreadsheet and say, fill in your numbers here. We've given you this to say, fill in your numbers here. You're going to want to know because at the end of the 100 days, you're going to be able to say to yourself, oh my goodness, every 19 conversations, I booked a listing appointment. Every 22 conversations, I booked a listing appointment. Every 38 conversations, I took a listing. And just like that, because you were tracking and measuring for 100 days, your business becomes infinitely more predictable. So you can decide exactly how you want your business to be in 2024. That's why it's important. And then here's the last one, number 5. If I really want to be successful in this, I'm going to use pain and pleasure to help me get there. You've all heard it before. Tony Robbins made his entire career on this, Jimmy. We will do more to avoid pain than we will to gain pleasure. Some of us are driven by the opportunity. Some of us are afraid if we don't perform that something bad's going to happen. And I would just say to you, work with your coach to decide what's best for you. But I know for me, if I really got to get my butt in gear and I got to do a new discipline and I got to work through the resistance, I'm going to create some pain over here that if I don't follow through, it's going to be ugly. Yeah. Right? Some consequence will be there. Now, those are my 5 quick tips. Now I want to talk to Jimmy and we got to be done in like less than 15 minutes. So Jimmy, I'm yapping too much here. Here's what I wrote down. Talk to us about the first 33 days, about the macro strategy and then the tactics. We'll answer a few questions and then we're off to the races.
Okay. So I'm going to dive right into that, Tom. But before I do, just one quick thought, because you just made me think of it. Don Valentine, who is the famous founder of Sequoia Capital. Sequoia Capital, famous VC firm out of Silicon Valley. They invest in Zoom and PayPal and Uber and Google, you name it. He has this great line. He says, all businesses go out of business for the same reason, which is they run out of cash. Yep. And everything that we're going to be sharing with you today is around this basic idea of changing your schedule to put you in a position where we're focusing on near-term revenue. So there are a lot of marketing strategies that we coach, in the ecosystem, how to build your YouTube channel, how to build your Instagram following. All those things are great. Those are your investment accounts. We're trying to fill your checking account right now. We're trying to put you in a position where we're booking appointments today. So the first strategy, Tom, we're going to talk about, and everyone's got the workbook, so you'll know this, is the ZMA. So many people don't know this, but as of August of 2016, the word Zillow was searched more than the word real estate. Zillow is synonymous in the mind of the consumer. So what we want to do is we want to leverage their brand recognition to start more conversations with consumers. Now, we break down the strategy step by step in the 100K and 100 days. But one of the things that I want to make sure I call out, because I want to make sure everybody gets this right, is that this is designed to be a text message first strategy. 98% of text messages are opened. 45% are replied to. And so what we're doing with the ZMA strategy, Tom, is we're leveraging Zillow, we're leveraging their Zestimate, and we're using a medium that's designed to start conversations. If we can book or have more conversations, we can book more appointments. If we can book more appointments, we can get more listings. So that's the first thing I want to dive into.
So Jimmy, I want to just remind all my friends from up north in Canada, we do the same exact thing with Realtor.ca. Realtor.ca for all my Canadian friends. Also for all my friends in Australia, it's realestate.com.au, right? So you could literally pick any one of the major portals in your country because we got people, there we go. All my Canadians like, yes, Realtor.ca. Same exact thing. right? Same exact thing. So Zestimates or realtor.ca or realestate.com.au, same exact strategy. Here's the price. They're wrong. All it does is it starts a conversation. That's all we're trying to do, make it as easy as possible. Keep going, Jimmy.
Yep. Okay, so number 2 on the list here for us, Tom, is value-based voicemail. So once you start to get in motion, 3 to 5 of these ZMAs per day, start engaging with your SOI, we have to look beyond our SOI and start to look at our farm, people that actually own a home in our area that we may not have a relationship with. Now, 8 out of 10 consumers will not pick up a phone call from a number they don't recognize. So the reason why we want to leave a voicemail is it's our best chance of actually building some type of connection. Now, there's a rule in marketing. They call it, this is an old adage in marketing. They call it the rule of 7, which is in order for someone to decide whether they want to purchase your product, your service, they got to hear about your brand at least 7 times. The value of the value-based voicemail is not the simple, hey, Tom, this is Jimmy calling with ABC Realty, give me a call back. What we're trying to do with the value-based voicemail is we're trying to leave a positive impression with the consumer, that we're not looking for a one-night stand, we're looking to build a relationship with them. And in fact, Coach Will Draper texts us both, Tom, or DM'd us both on Instagram. One of his coaching clients already got 2 listing appointments from this strategy. So for those of you right now who haven't put in that sweat equity to circle dial, this strategy is really designed to kind of be your training wheels. It's a really simple to execute, easy strategy to kind of get you into motion to start making those calls to your farm.
Jimmy, I got to jump in really fast because I'm watching the comments and somebody said, okay, but what do I do if the Zillow's estimate is actually higher than what homes are actually selling for? Look up here. It almost doesn't matter. All I'm trying to do is create an opportunity to have a meaningful conversation with somebody in my database. Hey, I was looking at your home value the other day on Zillow. It's clearly off. Want to know by how much? Want to know by how much? Right? And just like that, you're sparking a conversation. Remember, Zillow, realtor.ca, realestate.com.au it's the zeitgeist. It's what's on the minds of customers. What are homes selling for? They only ask you how's the market for one reason. It's the precursor to, is my home going up, flat, or down? They don't really care how the market is. The only thing they care about is how much is my home going up, down, or flat. So everybody's got to get the subcontext here, which is we're just trying to create meaningful conversations. You want to have those conversations with the people in your database, in your sphere, your clients. You don't want them going to a portal to discover their values. That's all I wanted to say. Keep going.
Well, this is a great line from Brian Barrera from 1000 Watt. He says, every Zillow seller lead is a buyer who is abandoned by their agent. And so for us, all we're really trying to do is, to Tom's point, is start a conversation. Just because their home is worth more than or less than his estimate doesn't mean they wouldn't sell it for that. And so again, you can't convert a lead into an appointment unless you start having conversations. So we had a question as it relates to the list building, Tom. One of the recommendations we have, so first and foremost, your title company would be a great source for getting the phone numbers when you're circle dialing. Tom and I both love PropStream. Shout out to PropStream. You can build lists there. You can use something called skip tracing to ensure it's DNC compliant. What we have found is you're still going to get 70% of the numbers that you can call within your given farm. Let me give you one quick pro tip here. And this is so important. And Tom and I have seen this over and over again. The people who are selling their homes today are not necessarily the people who were selling their homes 24 months ago. The market has shifted a bit. So it would make a lot of sense if you slow down for a second to say, let me analyze the last 3 months, last 6 months of sales to see the kind of makeup of the homes that are selling. Maybe it's 3-1 single families. Maybe condos are kind of on the rise. Do a little bit of market research to identify where that kind of high turnover is within your farm. And you can use a tool like PropStream to do that. And then use skip tracing or use your title rep to get those phone numbers, Tom.
Okay, quick announcement. So Debbie says, well, what about the do not call list? So Deb, sometimes we talk a little fast, but Jimmy was very clear. You use solutions like PropStream or others to remove the people from the do not call list.
Correct.
Do not call the people on the do not call list. That is a no-no.
Mhm.
Do not call people on the do not call list. If this is being recorded, I say this 1,000 times. Do not call people on the do not call list. There's plenty of other people to call. All right, let's keep going.
Okay. So we got the ZMA. We've got circle dialing with value-based voicemails. So now we're in motion every day, working our SOI. We're in motion every day, calling on our farm. The third strategy is introducing email marketing. Now, in the chat for me, because we don't have a poll for this, let me know right now in the chat, how many people do you currently have in your CRM database? Just drop the number for us. How many people do you currently have in your CRM database? And so, Tom, because we have like 3,000 people on the call, it's a lot of numbers flowing through here, but we're seeing on average, looks like people are having 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people. Okay.
Yes.
Email marketing is one of the most effective marketing strategies that you can use to stay in touch with people at scale. The beauty of email marketing is, unlike running pay-per-click advertising campaigns or spending 35% referral fees, you're spending $0 to stay in touch with people. You've already acquired the customer. And so what we wanted to do is we wanted to empower you with emails every single week for you to send that are value-based. Now, the format that we follow, and this is a format that Tom and his organization execute, it's a format I execute for myself as well, is value first, sales second. So we open up every email with something that's interesting, relevant, timely about the market, something that is useful for the consumer, giving the consumer a reason to say thank you. And then after that, we have a soft call to action, allowing them to opt in to raise their hand. And where the magic really happens, and we break this down in 100K in 100 days, is that we want to get you inbound come list me opportunities from your email marketing. But then the beauty of email marketing is if you track the opens and the clicks, you now have built your outbound call list for that day. And so when marketing and sales come together, that's the magic right there. So what we want to do is we want to get you into motion. Now, I want to give a disclaimer here, Tom. We got 4 emails every month going out. A lot of people who are listening right now have maybe sent 4 emails all year. Trust us, right? Sending more emails, you'll have a little bit of a spike in unsubscribes, but then it will balance it out. People get a lot of emails per day. I wish every one of them were open. They're not. We got to get ourselves in front of the consumer. We got to develop the habits that they expect to hear from us every single week. So we went ahead, Tom, and just to be clear, we went ahead and we actually crafted every single email that you're going to use over the next 4 weeks. These are battle tested, proven emails that work, and they're ready to be sent for everyone who's part of the program today.
I love it. I love it. So I'm getting some questions like, how many emails can I send? Which email solution? Save all that stuff for your coach, because your coach knows your business. They're going to say, you should probably use the email service provider that comes with your CRM. You'll be fine. So Jimmy, give them the 4th one. And then I want to tie it up really fast, and then we're going to get everybody out there ready to work. So,
okay, awesome.
We put a bonus opportunity on there for people.
We did. This is a strategy where, if you're a professional real estate agent, you're studying the market every single day. And oftentimes people make the mistake of waiting until the consumer asks about the market to share that information. And so in the chat for us right now, real quickly, is real estate national or is it local? Simple question. Is real estate national or is it local? And what is the best source of local real estate information? Professional real estate agents. And so what we want to do is we want you to use your knowledge of the market to share interesting, notable, noteworthy listings on social media. And then we want you to turn the corner and promote that post on Instagram or on Facebook using your email list, bringing together your social media marketing or your social media following and your email database to create more conversations and book more appointments. My guy, Ray Allen, Tom Ferry client, executed the strategy brilliantly, generated like over 10 clients from the first time he's done it. He's now done this several times. This is such a simple, no-brainer way, Tom. For those of on the call who don't want to get in front of the camera and shoot videos, for those of us who are maybe afraid to be active on social, this is the absolute gateway drug into leveraging social to get your next appointment.
Yeah. So Beth just said, hey, could you explain the entire thing again? So I want to remind everybody, my team put together this beautiful, downloadable, every email, every campaign,
Mhm.
everything in detail. So, you know, this is, you don't even need to be taking notes right now, maybe minus my pick 3 of these 5. Everything else is already inside there. So if you haven't gone inside a Loom, hit the search bar. Looks like that little circle thing. Hit that, and then just type in 100K. Look below, and you're going to see download the workbook. Here's the PDF. Download the tracker. Here's the PDF. A lot of people have taken that. They've had it printed. They've turned them into posters. It's all over people's offices. So you don't need to ask how. It's all inside there. And if you like, Tom, I just signed up for coaching today, and my team just told you to go on here. It's okay. You're going to go inside this thing called a Loom, and that's where it is. But everybody else, you know where to find it. All right. So Jimmy, we're going to do 2 more sessions. I want to remind everybody the dates. Please put it in your calendar very quickly. You ready? We are getting back together, all my crazy notes here, on October 9th at noon Dallas time, noon Central, October 9th. It's a Monday. Coaches, adjust your calendars accordingly. You as well. We're going to do it again on November 6th at noon Dallas time. Noon Dallas time. And the goal is just every 30 so days, we're going to get together and say, okay, here's the next few campaigns. Let's keep moving forward. Let's keep polling everybody. Let's hear how you're doing. We'll do some Q&A. But for now, again, I want to thank my team. And then I want to remind you, I would love, everybody listen up. You ready? If you're planning to document on social your journey over the next 100 days, that is a brilliant move. It is a brilliant move to say, would it shock you to hear that the vast majority of real estate agents stop working and this is the time of the year? Or I have a commitment between now and the end of the year to inform every single friend of mine, every single person in my sphere, every one of my clients to know exactly what their home is worth because there's so much confusion in the market. You could make a series of posts about the work that you're doing, showing people your level of commitment. Think about Jimmy's point around, I have to see a brand do something 7 times before I say, she's my gal, he's my guy. No better way to do it than to start pushing this stuff out on social and letting people know what you're up to. And then I would just say, if you're going to do it, tag me because I have a pretty big following. If I like the post and I see you going through the ups and downs and battling through the resistance, I'm going to share that stuff to my 300,000 followers and hopefully get you a few agent referrals. All right. So as we wrap up, we got the dates. We know the marching orders. I know we said, hey, we would start this officially on Friday. I say you start today. You start today, which means this Sunday you're sending the email out. You're going to start doing the text. And for some of my Canadian friends that are like, I'm not sure which solution I should use, why don't you just do a CMA and send it to them? That's it. Remember, all we're trying to do is just start the conversation. Hey, are you curious about the value of your house? I would just send them a CMA, email it to them. Because now I know those are going to be the 10 people I'm going to call on that next, few days and start having those conversations. So don't get stuck in, I don't like Zillow or, I'm in Australia, it's different. The whole game is just to be in action, to serve your customers, to let them know what's going on with home prices, to be their agent. Remember, 62% of consumers are listing their house based on proximity, the person they're talking to the most. And I want that to be you. So everybody's got their marching orders. Jimmy, this was an awesome session. Let's get to work, my friends. Let's go help a lot of people. Let's follow the plan. You know exactly what you have to do. I can't wait to hear about your next coaching session and keep tagging me in your social. See you guys in the next 30 days. Let's go.